A voice this powerful usually emerges from seasoned performers, not from a teenager posting a cover online. In recent months, viewers around the world have been increasingly captivated by British vocalist Lucy Thomas, whose performance of Hallelujah has gained exceptional traction across social platforms. What began as a straightforward musical upload has evolved into a viral event recognized by audiences far beyond her core fanbase. As reporters, we often observe trends in entertainment rise and fall quickly, but Thomas's surge reflects something different. A combination of vocal precision, emotional restraint, and an unexpectedly mature delivery for an artist of her age. Her rendition has driven widespread discussion, not only because of its musical quality, but because of the surprising scale of its reach, prompting analysts to track how a single performance from a young singer has penetrated international markets and media outlets. Behind the soaring viewership is a story rooted in training, perseverance, and early exposure to public performance, elements that contribute to her rapid ascent. This report breaks down how Thomas moved from regional recognition to global resonance, and why this particular cover continues to gain momentum week after week. Every major artist starts somewhere, and in Lucy's case, the signs appeared far earlier than most realized. From a news standpoint, Lucy Thomas's early years present an increasingly common modern pattern: talented young performers emerging from small communities and gaining recognition through televised competitions. Born in Lancashire, she demonstrated a disciplined approach to training from a remarkably young age, beginning vocal lessons years before most children develop an interest in structured performance. Teachers and local vocal coaches have noted her unusual clarity of tone and rapid stylistic development, qualities not typically associated with early teen singers. That foundation set the stage for her first appearance in national media during her participation in a well-known youth talent competition, where she advanced through the ranks and captured attention for her tone control and calm stage presence. Though she did not ultimately win the competition, her exposure there became a catalyst, creating a measurable shift in her public visibility and prompting interest from industry professionals. Observers at the time noted that her progression suggested long-term potential rather than transient exposure, raising questions even then about how a young performer might transition from televised recognition to a sustained career. Industry insiders say most young singers fade after TV appearances, but Lucy took an entirely different path. After her broadcast debut, the next major development in Thomas's career came with the confirmation that she had secured a recording contract. In an industry accustomed to rapid turnover among youth performers, this move signaled clear confidence from executives who believed she possessed the stability and discipline required for long-term development. The transition from a public competition to a professionally supported career is rarely straightforward, but in this case, the label's investment allowed her to begin recording full albums rather than relying solely on digital platform releases. Signing with an established record company provided her with access to arrangements, production teams, and vocal direction that strengthened her technical range and broadened her marketability. Analysts covering the vocal performance sector have pointed to this stage as essential in transforming her from a promising contestant into a working recording artist, especially given how consistently she has released material since. This progression placed her in a unique position among her peers, highlighting not only her talent, but also her ability to navigate early career expectations, often challenging for young performers. It's rare for a single cover to generate global interest, yet this one continues to circulate with unusual force. Lucy Thomas's rendition of Hallelujah has become a case study in viral music performance. Industry analysts note that while many musicians post covers of popular songs, few achieve meaningful engagement beyond standard viewership. In this instance, metrics indicate sustained growth across multiple regions, not just English-speaking markets. Viewers frequently comment on the maturity of her delivery, noting how her interpretation diverges from typical youth performances by focusing on tonal purity and controlled emotional expression. For reporters tracking digital media trends, her performance highlights the shifting landscape in which young artists can bypass traditional promotional routes and still achieve widespread attention. The cover's momentum has continued for months, with algorithmic recommendations amplifying its reach and pushing it into broader public consciousness. What makes this situation particularly notable is the consistent tone of the audience response, emphasizing emotional resonance, vocal stability, and a sense of calm rarely associated with viral performances. The video's longevity suggests that this is not merely a momentary spike, but a sustained viewer connection rooted in authentic delivery. Public success often hides private pressure, and Lucy's rise is no exception. Rapid visibility in the digital age often brings both opportunity and expectation, and Thomas's situation underscores this duality. While her online success appears smooth from the outside, individuals familiar with the industry note that maintaining momentum at her age requires extensive discipline, frequent vocal preparation, and consistent content output. As reporters, we observe patterns among young artists facing the challenge of balancing public demand with personal development, and Thomas's career fits squarely into this narrative. Her extensive release schedule, including multiple albums and an expanding range of cover genres, implies a high level of professional structure around her. Sources in the performance training sector remark that such growth requires careful planning to avoid vocal strain or burnout. Despite these pressures, Thomas has continued releasing material at a steady pace, suggesting a supportive infrastructure and a clear long-term strategy. This behind-the-scenes context helps explain how she has maintained both vocal stability and public interest, two elements notoriously difficult for emerging performers to balance simultaneously. Just when the public thought they knew her trajectory, Lucy took an unexpected turn toward the stage. A significant shift in Thomas's career occurred when she transitioned from digital content creation into live theatrical performance, marking a milestone that surprised analysts who had categorized her primarily as a studio-based vocalist. Her appearance on a major theatrical stage showcased her ability to adapt to the demanding acoustics and live timing associated with orchestral accompaniment. For news outlets covering performing arts developments, this moment signaled her evolution from a digital platform singer into a multidimensional performer capable of engaging both virtual and in-person audiences. The move has been well received by critics, who noted her controlled execution and adaptability to the heightened vocal expectations of theater. This development demonstrates not only her versatility, but also her long-term potential in broader performance markets, an important indicator in assessing her future trajectory within the industry. Moreover, stepping into a live orchestral environment has reinforced her credibility among traditional music professionals, expanding her reach beyond strictly online audiences. Analysts listening closely point to one unusual factor: her voice behaves more like that of a seasoned adult performer. While many artists gain attention for stylistic flair or novelty, Thomas's appeal is rooted in technical consistency. Experts examining her recordings often highlight her breath control, tonal clarity, and steady vibrato, features uncommon in younger vocalists. These characteristics allow her to interpret well-known songs with a level of emotional balance typically associated with experienced performers. Audience response data further supports this assessment. Viewers consistently reference the calming and steady quality of her voice, as opposed to more dramatic or embellished approaches. This distinction has contributed significantly to why her cover of Hallelujah continues circulating widely. Additionally, her expanding range of musical selections, from pop to classical crossover, indicates an artist intent on long-term development rather than short-term viral success. In effect, Thomas's vocal style has created a recognizable identity in a crowded digital landscape, enabling her to stand out among a high volume of emerging performers. Even months later, analysts ask the same question: why hasn't this cover faded like most viral content? The enduring visibility of Lucy Thomas's performance reflects several converging factors: consistent vocal quality, sustained algorithmic support, high viewer retention, and positive word of mouth across multiple platforms. From a reporting perspective, this combination suggests an unusual stability for a young performer whose career originated online. Rather than fading after initial traction, her cover maintains steady engagement, indicating continued global interest and reaffirming her position as a developing artist with long-term potential. Industry observers argue that her disciplined approach, expanding artistic range, and movement into theatrical performance signal a career still in its early stages. The cover's resonance appears tied to more than musical interpretation. It reflects an emotional connection between performer and audience, one strong enough to push a single video into repeated international circulation. As we monitor her next steps, the central takeaway remains clear. Thomas is transitioning from viral success to sustained relevance, a shift that carries significant implications for her future as an emerging figure in modern vocal performance.